If you're here to research your upcoming trip to Goa, then look no further. My name is Samarth and I have been traveling to Goa for over 7 years, and today I'm putting together the most comprehensive guide to Goa, India the internet has ever seen. We begin the real guide with North Goa. Why? Well, that's pretty obvious. North Goa is the perfect destination for all kinds of travelers. The best way to reach this part of Goa from Pune is by the Amboli Ghat route. With the best of beaches, parties, raves and forts, here are the top things to do when in North Goa. First things first, what kind of options does North Goa offer for stay? Believe me when I say this, North Goa is the perfect amalgamation of hostels, rooms, resorts and 5-star properties. Now to make things simpler, if you're looking at Goa as a party destination, I'd suggest you get a place on the Anjuna Vagator stretch or Candolim. But if your motive is not just partying and you also feel like exploring new places and sitting by the beach, I suggest the Morjim Arambol stretch. So if you want to explore the hippie life or live like the royals, North Goa has a place for all of you. When we talk about hostels, my favorite property hands down is the franchisee named Vogue. Vogue hostels are present at pristine locations of Morjim and Arpora and is one of the cleanest hostel experience I have ever had. Couple that with a much needed pool and an European cafe, Vogue is the best hostel accommodation with prices ranging as low as $400 a night. Moving forward to a property I just discovered, the second place on my list is the Raposo resort in Vagator. This beautiful spread of a property lies at the junction of Anjuna Vagator Road, just a few meters away from the very famous Thalassa Greek Taverna, and has a mesmerizing view of the Morjim beachfront. A night at Raposo should cost you around $3,000 for 4 people. If you're looking for a suite kinda option, then let me suggest you Span Resorts and Suites in Morjim. Decently priced with 2, 3 and 4 BHKs available at rates starting from $2,500 a night. A few other places that I have loved include the Piggy Hostel and PapiChulo. Goa has some of the most fantastic conceptual cafes which are not just about the food but also the experience that is to be offered to people traveling from all across the globe. Here are the top 5 cafes that I have come across in North Goa. Let's start this list with Goa's latest offering, Mojigao. Located in the lush corners of Assagao, Mojigao faces a lush green field and has one of the healthiest menus that I've come across in years. Mojigao is a heritage eco village and the cafe here is one of the finest tapas experiences. Next on my list is my personal favorite, Baba Rhum in Anjuna. Known for their selection of thin crust pizzas and Vietnamese coffee, Baba Rhum is a perfect breakfast and snack option on this list. Their English breakfast is to die for. Moving on to Gunpowder, another mesmerizing property in Assagao. A roof filled with colorful confetti welcome you at this cafe, best described as a modern eatery with garden-styled outdoor seating with menu focused on South Indian cuisine. The last must property on this list of mine, and believe me this is not here because of my personal relations, is the beautiful street cafe named Mosaic at Anjuna. Run by the Lobo brothers Ashley and Marcelo, one of the kindest staff in Goa welcome you here to the best tapas bar experience Goa has to offer. Let's talk about local cuisine for a minute. Being on the Konkan coastline, it goes without saying that Goa offers some of the best seafood menus that I have come across in the longest time. And this list has to start off with Goa's legendary Vinayak restaurant, again in Assagao. It is one of the most difficult places to get a seat at, but oh, it's worth the wait. My personal favorite is their fried fish, butter garlic squid, and of course, the various seafood based thalis. You don't want to miss out on this one for sure. A close second is the Kokni Canteen at Panjim, famous for their coastal Kokni cuisine and thalis. Served in a very homely setting, Kokni Canteen has been around since 1972 and everything from its red laterite walls to the homemade Kokni curries and dessert everything is a delight like none another. Another great option is the Satpurush restaurant, bang opposite Vogue Hostel in Morjim. Next up is the section that you've all been waiting for. Let's talk about where to party in Goa. Goa is undoubtedly the party capital of India. It hosts some of the world's best clubs as well as summer venues which have their history dating back to the 70s hippie culture. Here are my top 5 places to visit at and party at when in Goa. The list begins with Goa's, in fact India's first party destination, Hilltop. Hilltop Goa has been in existence since the 1970s and is Goa's iconic party destination and the place to be for all trance music lovers. People from across the globe convene in this neon palm grove for its legendary psychedelic parties. Hilltop has been home to some of the most iconic artists and biggest events. Their Friday's flea market and Sunday sundowners are one for the books. This is the real Goa, guys. Next on my list is the latest addition to the Goa club circuit, Chronicle. Located above the shoreline of Vagator Beach, Chronicle is voted as one of the finest clubs in the world and is currently the most exciting venue for fans of techno music. Chronicle is a high-end beach bar. The multi-levels include a cocktail bar as well as a high-end spirits bar and continental food restaurant which has a very romantic atmosphere. Next up is the notoriously famous Anjuna residing destination, Shiva Valley. Located just steps ahead of the ever-famous Curly's, Shiva Valley is the place to be for lovers of psychedelic music. End up here on a Tuesday night and you will be exposed to a world you have no idea about. It's an experience of its own. P.S. Do not drink water from anyone's bottle. Next up is the biggest and the most lavish club of Goa, Hammerz. Home to some of the most high-end and luxurious parties, Hammerz is the perfect answer to what next after Tito's. If your idea for a good night is a fancy cocktail and a huge space to dance the night away, Hammerz nightclub is the place to be. The last venue on my list of favorite party destinations in Goa is the marvelous Marbella Resort. Host to the legendary White Party and Full Moon Party, here is Marbella, a spanky beachside open-air party destination at Morjim. Marbella has been home to some of the best events in the past couple of years like the Namaskar Experience, Sunburn New Year's Eve and many more. To a lot of us, partying doesn't always mean dancing all night high on things other than just life. For many people, the idea of a good night is sitting by at a bar and drinking all night with their buddies without loud music or drunkards interrupting their conversations. Luckily, Goa is also home to some of the most beautiful and exclusive bars. Let's skip the usual Thalassa, Purple Martini and Curly's for the list coming up next. On top of my list is my most favorite discovery of 2020. I'm talking about the latest addition to the Anjuna sunset stretch, LushByTheCliff. Out of my previous 7-day visit to Goa, I am not at all ashamed that I spent at least 4 of the nights here. I am also not ashamed to bet $1,000 that the best butter chicken in India is at this place. What's more, a perfect sunset awaits you right by the cliff as their bartender makes sure you never run out of your favorite cocktail in your hand. An evening at Lush is a must. Hidden ahead of a 10-minute trek from the Baga Creek is the Indian competitor to Mexico's heaven, Tulum. Tulum is the latest addition to Mr. David Tito's excellence of choice. If I had to choose one single place to watch the sunset in Goa from, it would be this place. Tulum is also home to some of the most exotic cocktails that Goa has to offer. Oh, and they serve hookah too. Another beautiful Goa experience is to go drinking at some of Goa's unique street bars. My favorite are these two beautiful street bars called Darlings and Don Robs on the Anjuna stretch. Authentic to Goa, street bars are a must try. And to end the list of my favorite things about North Goa is the main reason I love traveling here. Beaches and a few other spots which make you feel and understand what exactly a vacation should look like. Talking about beaches, the list has to start with my personal favorite, Morjim Beach. One of the largest stretch on the Goa shoreline, Morjim boasts of various water sport activities and is also surfers' favorite. It is one of the few beaches in North Goa which has their own boat club. So if your idea of a perfect sunset is watching one in the middle of the ocean on your own personal yacht, you know where to head. Morjim Beach also boasts of some of the best beach shacks. One must go is the LR and the S2 Beach Shack. Heading next to what according to me is the most well developed and well maintained beach in North Goa. I am talking about the Candolim Beach stretch. Candolim is home to some of the best beach clubs like Toy and also to a limited few legal casinos in India like the Majestic Pride. Pristine white sand welcomes you with hundreds of shack options waiting to serve you. And as cliche as it sounds, a leg massage here never hurt anyone. Moving forward to what I can only define as ye nahi dekha to kya dekha of Goa, Arpora Fort. If you know me personally, you know how much I love the spot and how much it means to me. I think I have seen some of the best sunsets of my life from the top of this fort. Arpora is right above the Vagator beach and has an easy 10-minute climb to the top, and the view from here is definitely worth it. Up next, in this really secluded and well-maintained secret spot, just a few hundred meters away of Goa's famous Aguada Fort on the Candolim stretch. A well-kept secret, I'm not sure if this spot has a name, but it's definitely worth taking the effort and risk to get yourself a view of sunset like none other. Next, we have the Arambol hidden paradise, the Sweetwater Lake. A good 15-minute walk via the Arambol beach stretch brings you to this green lit water body separated just by the beach from the sea. Take this offbeat destination as a must visit next time you visit Arambol. A refreshing swim and 100 Insta-worthy pictures later, you are sure to come out happy with the decision to explore this gem. Ending this list with a one-of-a-kind Goa experience, exploring the Saturday night market at Arpora. This place is the perfect amalgamation of street shopping, food delight and international music. I remember coming across Iraqi music for the first time here, and I have been hooked to it ever since. A perfect place to buy souvenirs for your family and friends. Exploring the market is a beautiful experience. And with that, we conclude the Real Guide edition on exploring North Goa. This part of Goa is definitely a paradise like none other. Oh, also, the best part of North Goa is that you can travel from one corner to the other in a span of an hour. So the best way to explore the city is on a bike. Try avoiding SUVs because the roads throughout Goa are very narrow. Two-wheelers are available on rent 24/7 at a rate starting from as less as 300 rupees a day. I can only hope that I have covered all the major requirements one should be aware about before traveling here. North Goa is saturated with multiple options for anything and everything that you can think of. This is just a list of few of my favorites, and I hope you get to see them from my eyes. Time to move on to the serene beaches and the waiting to be explored destination of South Goa. South Goa, well, where do we start? Soulful and serene, South Goa offers you a heady mix of exotic and sandy beaches, churches and temples rich in history, glimpses into the Portuguese culture, mind-blowing seafood, undiluted lush greenery and an undeniable romantic vibe. A holiday in the southern part of India's party capital can easily become a memorable affair if you do two things. Book your room in one of the best hotels in South Goa and explore the right attractions that dot the region. The best way to reach here is via the Karwar route on the Karnataka border. Let's start with where to stay. As compared to North Goa, South side is much more secluded and silent. But that in no way means that there are less options to stay. Most popular area to stay at are Palolem and Agonda. Some of the best 5-star properties of Goa are lined up along the south stretch. But trust me when I say this, if you have taken the effort of travelling till the south, then what you're going to enjoy more than the luxury properties, are the beach huts along the most amazing beach stretches you will ever come across. Needless to explain, staying at a beach hut has its own advantage, like 24/7 access to the beach. My favorite properties include the Dwarka Beach Hut Resort at Kola and Om Sai Beach Hut at Agonda. Now that you have chosen where to stay, let's move on to where to eat and where to visit on your South Goa trip. My favorite cafe out here is Cow Corner, located at Palolem. Their Malvian chicken with fried rice is to die for. Couple that with the beautiful ambience and live music almost every night, hanging out at Cow Corner is a must. Next up is this hidden gem which offers one of the best fish thali I have had in the longest time. This is Girija Ghar Jivon, and this is an authentic Goan cuisine as possible. The fact that this is mostly frequented by the locals is enough reason to understand how good this place really is. Now let's talk about what awaits for you to see and visit when you visit the pristine shores of South Goa. As mentioned previously, South Goa is definitely more about being lost in nature than at a rave or party. South Goa is for the explorer in you than anything else. The calmest of the beaches surrounded by forest welcome you here. Talking about beaches, Agonda tops my list on any given day. Agonda Beach is a carpet of white sand dotted with colorful shacks giving the authentic Goan vibe. The Arabian Sea on this part is passionately touching the shores of the shining beach dotted with lush green coconut and palm trees. It is one of the cleanest beaches of Goa, which are remarkably less crowded. Next up is probably the most famous beach when one talks about Goa, Palolem. Palolem gained fame after being shown as the island that Hrithik gets lost on in Kahona Pyar Hai. Palolem Beach is one of the most beautiful beaches in Goa, known for its picturesque natural beauty and uncanny party vibes. This semicircular beach is only a mile long. Therefore, you will not require much time to explore all the beautiful sights that the beach has to offer. So whether you're thinking about venturing out with your partner or on your own, Palolem Beach will always be enjoyable to you in every way. If kayaking is on your list of adventures, Palolem is the place to be at. Moving forward to what is often promoted as the secret beach of Goa, Butterfly. Butterfly Beach is also popularly known as Honeymoon Beach, as a lot of honeymooners and couples come here for a secluded vacation. To reach here, you can hop on a ferry from Palolem or Agonda, as this beautiful and semi-circle beach is not approachable by any other means. And if you're feeling too thrilled, you can try and trek around the thick forest surrounding this beach to reach here. You can also wait for the low tide period to witness wandering sea urchins, redfish, goldfish and sea cucumbers here. This is a unique sight that you will not get to explore anywhere else in entire Goa. A few other places worth exploring when in south is the Cabo de Rama Fort, which gives you a beautiful 180-degree view of the majestic Arabian Sea. Baga Beach, which offers you to witness the meeting point of the ocean and the river. Baga is also famously known as the Turtle Beach, as it is one of the few nesting spots of the endangered olive wriggly turtles. Another spot that one can choose to explore is the Kupa Sea Cave. Kupa Sea Cave is a 90-meter long stretch of a sea cave, helping put Lolium Beach at the southernmost tip of Goa on the world map and a must-see tourist destination. So yes, that brings us to the end of the real guide to explore South Goa. Here are some of my common tips to keep in mind while traveling across Goa. Let's talk about how safe Goa really is. In my experience, I've never faced any issue as a person or couple in the northern part of Goa. North is generally filled with an audience and there isn't really any seclusion. South, on the other hand, can sometimes be eerily secluded. I would advise solo travelers to avoid traveling south alone post sunset. Another thing to note is to always carry your own medical requirement. Finding medical isn't very easy out here. Alright, that was me, Samarth, your real guide, to help you plan your itinerary for the next time you plan to visit or explore Goa. Did you enjoy the series? Which place would you like to know about more next? Do let me know in the comment section below. And as always, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to The Real Talk.